Okay, so January 19th, right here. Right. We opened, we gapped down here from the day before, right? We gapped down here, went down here, tested the trend line. This is the dotted line. Tested the trend line, went up, and came back down and closed near the trend line. Okay.
Right.
Nothing interesting. Okay. But just remember what happened here. Okay.
Right.
We gapped down, right? We bounced off the trend line. We closed near the trend line. Okay. Cool. What was the next day? The next day was next day was the next day, basically Friday. So this was we looked at the 19th. Now look at the 20th because we tested the trend line again, right?
Right.
Okay. So the trend line on the 20th. If you look at the 1 minute chart, right? To the 20th. Okay. Okay. So we already saw the 19th, which is right here, right? The 20th. What we did was, remember, we closed on the 19th here, right? We gapped up a little bit, not that much, right? 20 points or something, right?
Right.
Everything was good. We reversed immediately, right? Hit the trend line, but made a higher low. Okay? And then went up, trended up the entire day. Okay? Okay? All right, fine. That's what happened on the 20th. Okay. Let's look at, so I want to look at each day basically, okay? Just bear with me.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we looked at 19th. We looked at 20th, right? Let's look at the 25th, okay? Hold on, let me just tell you what days we're going to look at instead of going back to the daily. So 19th, 20th, I have it written down. 25th, we're going to look at. Then we'll look at the 31st,
Right.
the 1st,
Right.
the 7th, and the 8th, okay? We'll look at those in order, okay? So let's look at the 25th real quick. 25th. Okay. So 25th, again, this dotted line is the trend line, okay? So just remember that. So what happened here? We gapped down, okay? We gapped down from the day before. We went down to the trend line early, right, at 9:40 a.m. So first hour, we trended down. We hit the trend line, made a higher low, and then trended up the entire day.
Right.
Okay? Like the entire day from 9:40 onwards to the end of day, basically, we trended up. Okay? So that was a trend day. Okay?
Right.
The next day we're going to look at, so this is the 25th, right? Next day we're going to look at is the 31st. Okay? This, which is another day that we tested the trend line. Okay?
Right.
What happened? We gapped up a little bit from here, from the day before. We gapped up a little bit, right? Went up, went up, went up. Then went down, and went down basically like big red candles.
Right.
Okay? But this is still a higher low from where we closed here. And then we trended up the entire day.
Right.
Okay, so we like bottomed at like 9:09, and then we trended up the entire day. It was a trend day. Okay, the 31st. That's the 31st, okay?
Right.
Now let's look at the next day, the 1st. Okay, the 1st is FOMC day. You remember what happened on FOMC day, right?
Right.
Basically, this is FOMC right here, right? Basically, we tested like 40.75, and then basically we chopped for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, and then went down,
Right.
tested the trend line, and then popped up all the way, right? Obviously it rallied then, right?
Right.
So that was an easy day, okay? Or not an easy day, but that's what happened then, okay? So, okay, cool. So, and then the next day is the 7th, okay, which is yesterday. Okay, yesterday was a crazy day, basically, remember that?
Right.
We basically chopped, Powell start talking, boom, went down, tested the trend line, and then trended up again. Right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to today. Okay. Today, what happened? We gapped down, right? It was 20-point gap down. came back down here, right? Came back down here and closed right at the trend line. Yeah, we're closing right under it, but basically right at the trend line. Okay? So what this reminds me of is the first day that we looked at here. This day right here. That's what this reminds me of. Right here. Basically, we gapped down, we tested the trend line, right? And we closed right at it. Okay. Let's look at that date again, which was February. That was January 19th. Okay. So we gapped down, right? Gapped down.
Right.
Right. Tested the trend line.
Right.
Basically played with the trend line the entire day. Right. Went up, then came back to it. Basically closed at it.
Right.
Okay. So now look what happened next day. Okay. Next day we gapped up. Right. Not that much. 3,900 to 3,910. Okay. Not that much, right? 20 points, 10 points. Okay.
Right.
First 5 minutes, or first minute, actually, we were sort of like hanging out here. Immediately reversed. Looks like, hey, we're going down. Immediately reversed. Okay. Touched the trend line, made a higher low. Okay, and then trended up the entire day. Right.
Right. So, are you expecting something similar?
So, I'm not expecting similar, right? I'm not expecting similar, but I'm looking for similar. I'm looking for whether this happens, okay? So what I'm expecting tomorrow, or I'm looking to make sure that if this happens, I'm going to catch it. That's what I think, okay?
What would be the
what
sign?
I'm expecting?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so the sign would be basically a gap up by like, I don't know, 10 points, 15 points, 20 points, it could be anything, right?
Right.
Or it doesn't even have to be a gap up, right? It has to be a move up in the first like 2 to 5 minutes, okay? It could be 15 minutes, I don't know, right? Basically, a move up has to happen early on. A reversal that looks like it's gonna sell off. It needs to be like kind of violent, okay? So like move up here, something like this. Maybe like a move to, let's see, what do we close at? 40.17 we closed out, okay. So maybe like a move up to...
Wait, that's SPX, right?
Yeah, this is SPX. So let's say we get up to like, I don't know, 41, we open at like, I don't know, 41.30, and we go up to like 41.40, something like that,
Right.
And then a hard reversal, okay, like big red candles, essentially a stop out, a stop loss raid, essentially, It drops, okay? Then what I would look for is maybe like if you draw this trend line for the last hour of the day, as long as it makes a higher low here, right? So like a move up here and then like a drop around here, right? And then maybe some consolidation here, I would go long heavy. Like heavy. I think it makes sense.
Nice.
But see, you could stop out because you could stop out below this day low.
Without any hedge, you're gonna go heavy without any hedge.
Yeah, because if it let's say it gets up to like 41.40 or something, right?
Right.
And then it drops. That drop needs to happen. It needs to make it look like we're reversing. That's very important because that's what it did before too. It's very important that drop needs to happen. It can't be like a small pullback.
Right.
It needs to be like open up and then go boom 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 like that, and everybody's like, oh shit, we're gonna break 4,100. We're gonna break 4,100. But it makes a higher low. It makes a higher low from here, right? It touches one of these trend lines, either the main trend line or this trend line here somewhere, right? It could be anywhere here, right?
Right.
Like this. Like opens here and then goes like this, and then I could see like a trend coming through. Like we would catch the fucking bottom on that, and it could get to like 41.60 even, like the next level, and that would pay like 5 to 6x like that day.
Damn, I like that.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it will happen, obviously, right?
It's something to look for.
I'm just saying if we gap up like 10 to 15 points, or if we move up 10 to 15 points early, and then have a hard reversal, look for a higher low from what happened here.
So high. So
Okay.
that's for a higher low from the close. For example, we closed at 40.17, right? Or a higher low from.
Yeah, sure, yes, higher low from the close, sure, yes.
Nice. With the stop
Basically
loss,
higher low from
today's
close.
low
Today's lows, yes.
or 4100.
Yes.
What would you say?
You know, it's a. I don't have like a, you know,
Let's say
strong.
you're in the trade,
If you,
right?
oh, okay. Let's see. I'll tell you. If it's a day trade, like in the sense it's a 0-day or 1-day trade,
Right.
then I would stop out below like this trend line even, you know, or maybe even the day lows here. But if it's like next Friday trade, then I would give it to 4100.
So are you planning 0 dates or are you planning for a mix?
It really depends on. I have to see the day of and like premiums and stuff. You know, like if there's like a 10x possibility, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go like 5Gs on it. Like
0 dates.
Yeah. 0 dates.
Damn.
Just cause like it's a.
Good risk.
Well, here's the thing. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lose all 5Gs, right? If it goes down, I'll lose like 20%, 30%, right? Maybe 50%. I'll lose 2,500. I'm okay with that. With the possibility of gaining like 25,000. I'm okay with that. Risk reward, right? So just keep an eye out for an early move up. It could be a gap up or an early, like it could be 15, 30 minutes in the first 15, 30 minutes too. I don't know, right? I don't know what it's going to look like. It's not going to be very exact. The point is early move up, a hard reversal to make a higher low. Okay? A hard reversal to make a higher low, make everybody think that we're reversing and breaking down. And then we rally up.
That makes sense. I like that trade. I was actually thinking about it when I was at the gym that if there is another red day tomorrow, I'm gonna plan to like swing a big call position.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already in a lot of calls, but I think this is kind of how like ranges break too. Like, if you remember, so this is the trend line here, right? This is the trend line here. You remember the 3,800 range break? Like, remember how like we were sort of like messing with this upward trend line right at 3,800 on the 5th?
Right.
So look at what happened on this date, right? January 6th. Okay, January 6th. We only looked at this, right? We only looked at this. But let's look at what happened January 6th. January 6th. 1 minute chart. Oh wait, January 6th, yeah. Yeah. Okay, January 6th, 1 minute chart. Look at what happened. So we were messing around. So we were the day before. What happened the day before? The day before we were playing with the trend line, Thursday, cool, and we closed right under it.
Right.
Just like today. Next day, we gapped up, went up, hard down,
Looks like
higher low,
break. Yeah.
trend day. And look how much we went up. 38.12 we bottomed at, and look where we closed. 38.93. That's a 90-point move, man. An 80-point move.
Holy shit, dude. That's a.
Dude, I'm telling you, this could happen tomorrow.
I mean,
I'm telling you,
looks very similar.
This is important. But I'm telling you, this part has to happen. Like this, people get elated here. Like, oh, we gapped up, cool. Oh no, we reversed. Let me stop out of everything. Stop out. Get all the stoppers, and then you go up.
Nice.
This has happened over and over. I'm telling you, off of big trend lines. You know, it only happens at big trend lines. You know, so it's happened. So basically, it's happened right here. 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 It's happened right here.
You know,
like, so and it's possible that it happens again right here. I'm just saying. It's a pattern, right? We play patterns.
Right.
And obviously, if it breaks the trend line, if it makes lower lows, out, then it's not a play. But
Makes sense.
you have to have that hard reversal first, early on. In the first like 30 minutes, it has to go up, and then hard reversal looks like it's gonna fail. Just keep that in your mind. Don't get like, oh no, I'm buying puts. Maybe buy puts after it makes a lower low. But until then, I think we should keep an eye out to catch that bottom. That's all.
Makes sense. And yeah, it actually does make sense. I like that setup because
I mean, it's happened multiple times, right?
Right.
It's happened 5 times off of key trend lines, so I think you can do it again. That's all. Now, if it breaks the trend line, then we're going down big time. Okay, just know that. Obviously, don't hold your calls forever. Obviously, but
do you think we're gonna move down without any catalyst?
Yeah, I mean, we could break this uptrend and come down to here, and then still make a, and still go up here. Like it could easily do this thing. That's not a big deal. We don't have to stay in this channel.
Right.
As long as we stay above this trend line, that's the big one.
Right.
Like there's a lot of room here. Yeah, of course it can, for sure.
Makes sense.
That wouldn't be too crazy. So.
Nice.
But I'm just saying, early on, just be prepared for like a hard reversal when everybody's like, "Oh, we're gonna break." Just watch for the higher low. Watch for the higher low. If it makes a higher low, well, let's get a 5x. Let's get a 1k to 10k type of move.
10K. Nice.
I'm telling you, this is like a. If it happens tomorrow, we better catch it. That's all I'm saying.
Dude,
we better catch that.
How did this come to your mind? Like, have you been thinking about it for a while, or is that just something that you were?
I mean, I've just noticed that's how we break out of ranges. Like we create a range, and then like basically the last move out of the range is a higher low.
Right.
And if we're gonna break down on the range, it's a lower high. Like that's always what happens. The last move before that move happens, it's a lower high if we're going to break down, but if we're going to break up, then it's a higher low. Usually that's what happens. So I'm just sort of like looking for that, But again, if it makes a lower low, bets are off. Like if the trend is not valid anymore, that's something new is happening. So it's risky, but I think you can hit big, as long as it makes a higher low. I think it's possible.
Makes sense.
So anyway,
it's
sure.
a good, good analogy and good perspective to keep in mind. Because
yeah, I mean,
I agree. Like I don't think so. We're gonna like based on the price action. I'm not sure if.
I'm not saying we do that. I'm not saying we will do that. I'm saying like that's a possibility.
Possibility, yeah.
And just look for that. Don't get fully bearish in case we reverse early. Watch for a higher low. That's it. Just keep your eye on a higher low.
Right.
Because right now we're up 8 points or something. And I don't know if this sticks or not, but whatever. Let's say we open here, right, 41.38 or something, and then we get up to like 41.50 or something, on ES, and then there's a hard reversal, and then everybody's like, oh shit, we're breaking down, da 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 da. But let's see where we make a higher low. If we make a higher low, go long.
Makes
so,
sense.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. I'll try to incorporate some of this in the trade ideas, but we'll see.
I like that.
I'll keep it simple.
Yeah, let's see if it works like that.
That would be crazy, dude. Let's say like if we opened up and reverses, and then tests, like see what is it doing right now? It's not doing anything. Whatever. If it gets up here. Where'd it go? Oh, SPX, yeah. If we open around here, come down here, and then go boom, and then get up to like 41.80 or something like that, oh man, that would pay a lot. That would pay like 5 or 7x or something like that on the day.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then we would probably gap up if we close near 4180. And we probably gap up to like 4200. So anyway, I would and on that reversal, it would, you know, whenever that reversal happens, calls would get very cheap because calls are going to drop premium like crazy. You know, the 0 dates and 1 dates, they're going to drop premium like crazy. So that's when you buy the 4160, 4180 1 day out or something, you know, and you just let that thing ride throughout the end of the day, and you sell at the end of the day, like 75% of it, and you let 25% of it swing for a gap up. That's it. That's the play.
Dude, you're good at this kind of holding up 1 day. Like I don't know. I personally just can't hold that too long, especially when it's 1 day or 0 days.
Size down then. Size down.
True.
I mean, it's simple, right? If you can't hold it that long, you're sizing too much. Like I size where I'm okay with holding, you know. And if I double it, I get out. You know, I take my premium out, and then I'm just holding the profit. That's it. You know, it's simple as that. So you're sizing you can't size the same as you're sizing like a swing trade. Right. You just size down.
Makes sense.
So let's see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see. Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for updating me on this and sharing the idea.
All right, just don't forget it tomorrow if this happens, okay? Like, play this out.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right, cool.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.